live Sunday night with those guys, and Sunday night with those guys is sponsored by those guys.
What's up? What's up, everyone? How's everyone doing? Drone Shots, Bob, Casey, Welsh, Rob, Michael McReynolds. Who else was here? Lost Girls. Angie was here earlier, and so was 420 and someone else. Oh, there's Max Air.
Yeah, Max Air
was first. He was first, I must admit. And we appreciate you guys, AZ Drone Dudes. We appreciate you guys coming to the live stream early, and I promise you that you'll have something to look at while here comes Tom. You'll have something to look at while before the stream starts.
Okay.
I'm trying to put together some footage and stuff now, so that a countdown clock and maybe show a video or two or half a video or something just to keep you guys entertained until the live stream starts. How are you, Tom?
Hey.
Good, Lawrence. Hello, Herman.
I'm good. I want to make an announcement. If you notice, I changed the title of the stream. It was drones in Chernobyl, and then drone worship was supposed to be on the panel, but something happened and he had to back out last minute. So we'll get that on and popping at another time. Brant Aerials.
Hey,
but eventually they'll get on here. How's it going, Tom?
Oh, another day. Forgot it was almost Sunday. Wow. I'm just going by quickly, gentlemen.
Well, I'm just glad that that Herman's stream isn't any closer to mine, and it's like almost the way it runs is I have the stream Sunday, so I know tomorrow's my day off. I don't have to do jack on the internet except push a video or whatever. But then I know Tuesday comes like, oh, tomorrow's live stream, and then Herman feels the same way. It's Wednesday, so Thursday he's like in chill mode, and then by the time Friday comes, Saturday, it's back to Sunday again.
Well, it's not chill mode, but it's like he always got something to do.
Yes. And with the weather,
I understand where you're coming from, Tom. It's like, okay, when that just as it's time to sit down.
Hey, Johnny, what's up?
You got to get up and do it all over again.
I know, man. The grind. They call it the grind.
How are you? Well, anyway, I'm doing okay. I'm experiencing something I've never experienced before, and we're gonna get it out the system. So if you see me here grimacing and stuff in pain, I am experiencing my very first hemorrhoid.
You know what? I was gonna take a stabbing guess at that, but I didn't want to presume anything. Okay, so
yo, all I can say is this is my very first time in my life. I'm 57 years old, and I blame COVID for it.
So I'm going to give you some recommendations. Okay, tried and true.
Here we go.
Preparation H makes great wipes. Okay, that's first and foremost.
Yes.
But be careful with the wipes, man. Your sewage system is going to back up. But here's what I would recommend. And now, don't judge me for it. Okay.
Okay.
For $80, you go to Home Depot, you go to where the toilet seats are displayed, and adjacent to that, they make a bidet. It goes between the seat and the bowl. It's just a simple hookup to your water line. Once you go bidet, you go no other way, man. You're wiping too hard, you're working the wrong end.
Listen.
Gonna give you nothing.
I don't know about working the wrong end, but
this way. Well, what are you doing, man? Let me ask you a question. Okay, and here now you have real world experience. You live by the beach, so seagulls. Okay, now when a seagull shits on you, what do? You take a piece of paper and wipe it off your arm, and you go about your business.
Listen,
you wash that shit off, don't you? Okay, so, dude. Once you have a bidet, okay?
Yeah.
It's a game changer, man. It's a game changer. Okay?
Listen, all I can say
You'll never worry about another hoarding of toilet paper again. Okay? You won't stress out over that.
Well, that I'm not worried about so much, but for my first time experiencing it, it's strange. There's
Got
no.
yourself a little cushion to sit on there?
I'm going to CVS in the morning and I'm getting a little donut.
Yeah, you know
El
where you find that,
Smeghead,
right?
thank you
In
so
the
much,
ladies'
man.
aisle, right by the incontinent products and also right over there, man. You know, just like
Hold on a second. We got a super chat for El Smeghead. I had my first jab the other day, still feeling funky. Can you stay long enough to super chat before I can stay long enough to super chat before I pass out? Have a great stream. El Smeghead, thank you so much, man. We highly
there's
appreciate
Snakehead,
the
poster
super
boy
chat.
for
Thank
getting the
you.
vaccine. Thank you
Yes,
for that
and
public
thank you
safety
for that
announcement.
first shot because that's what it takes. You
There we
get the
go,
first.
bro. 5 pounds, baby.
Working.
Yes,
Working it.
highly
Working
appreciate.
it. What's up, Johnny?
But I just thought I would put that out there. So if you see me like squirming from side to side or just uncomfortable, that's basically it. But
Steven, what's up?
hey, what's up? Where's Capture Life is in here?
No,
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
we
man,
have the flyby guys. Are in
that's
here.
funny.
Oh, Stephen.
Yeah,
Okay.
you like to call him Stefan, but you know, you're like making him sound all fancy and shit. Okay.
Yeah, Stephen.
He ain't that
know,
fancy. He's just in
roving
Helsinki, that's all.
roving
He's
news
just in
reporter.
Helsinki getting over his you know, as an Englishman. Oh, wait, I might have offended him. I don't know. Is he a Scot or
Yes, feel better, El
where you
Smeghead.
from?
Yeah, where are you originally from, Stephen? Stephen.
He's from the UK.
Stephen.
Yeah.
Tomato. Well, look, like I mentioned before, drone worship was supposed to come on and something came up, so he won't be on this week, but we will work it out so that he does come on in the
We
future.
got a few other people.
He was actually going to join the panel. I sent him the news articles and everything. We had everything set up, so we will work it out eventually. And FYI, remember I was having the issue with my computer and everything. I would like to say I'm the proud owner of a fully functional computer, better than she was before, because I took out the freaking 220 gig operating system drive and threw in a 1 terabyte. And then what's funny now, I have a second 1 terabyte that I put all my data on. You know, when you edit your footage and you have your raw footage from your drone, I put it all on there. And I had a mechanical hard drive that's 1 terabyte. Now, because I have two solid state drives in here, two SSD drives, it doesn't want to recognize the mechanical drive. It got all bougie and shit on me. Windows can see it, but it doesn't want to read it. So now I've decided to hell with that mechanical drive, and I'm going to do like Herman and break down and get an 8 terabyte external so I can put everything on it. Now I won't have to worry about that no more. But the computer's well. Hey, Classic. Sometime this week, Classic, I would be willing to go out and fly. I'll keep you posted via DM. Someone sent me a message. Hold on a second. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't usually check messages during the stream, but I figured, okay, it was my son. I figured if it's a message, somebody's trying to send me something or asking to come on or whatever. But El Smeghead, thank you for taking that first shot, man. It's worth it. It's definitely worth it. And for once, you can actually cough and say, I'm immunized. Now if you cough and everyone turns and looks at you, it's for a
Asgard
reason.
Studios. What's up, bro?
What's that, Tom?
No, I just said Asgard
Asgard.
Studios is on.
Oh, yes. How are you,
What
Hugh?
you guys go out and fly at all this
Yes.
weekend at all?
Herman, did we fly twice this week? Or once? Was it once? I flew twice this week.
Twice.
I think it was I flew twice and I flew once with Herman. Herman, and Jamerson went back to Calvert.
Nice.
Which is good because Herman is actually, I don't know if you want me to blow up the box until you finish, Herman, or what's the comparison?
I mean, I'm just working on something small, nothing big. I'm just
Okay, that's it. He's working on something. So you expect to see some videos from Phantom Flight 101. I know you guys like watching him. Ken Heron loves the personality because Ken Heron says that Herman tells you to watch the video and have a good time. He doesn't
You don't have a
actually.
choice. Why would you have a choice?
Yeah,
You're gonna have a
yeah.
good time anyway. It's Herman's video. So,
Yes, yes. Well, I look forward to seeing him also because he has the same bird. Huh?
I need a shave.
Oh, and Tom, I also fixed the issue with the single person of one box.
Yeah.
I had to reinstall everything on my machine, and because I
yeah,
reinstalled Zoom.
I looked that up. Write down this code so you have it. It's an important code to have. Okay. Let me know when you're ready.
Go ahead.
ID
ID
10T.
N.
No,
Oh,
ID
never mind.
10,
Never mind. Never
10T.
mind, Tom.
Okay.
Oh, you got me. You got
I
me on. I
fixed
fell
my-
for that one.
So you feel better now? We look more like the Brady Bunch here. Okay. Stacked in little boxes.
You got
Yeah.
jokes today. You caught me with that one. That was a
Hey,
good
man.
one.
Oh.
You know, when you step into the bear trap, I don't care how you growl.
You're
still
right.
caught.
You're 100%
Okay?
right.
There you go.
People who arrived after me were getting called, and I thought something's wrong here.
Oh man, you got caught.
Yeah, I fell for it.
Mhm.
I did fall for it. It's okay.
Yeah, we went out and flew yesterday, did a little sunrise thing. So
Okay, where you
we
at?
went up to Yonkers
Okay. Where
over
at?
by the plant there and did some flying. And I wound up with a corrupted card in my DJI FPV. So the only footage I had was from the goggles.
Oh, that sucks. Well, no, the
Yeah,
goggles
yeah.
footage isn't bad, but that still
Yeah.
sucks. Any
You know.
SD
You
card.
didn't have any extra ones with you?
I did not realize it, Herman. There was no issue really, until you pull the card out, drop it on the computer, and go,
Oh,
what? Ooh. So even with the SanDisk Rescue, it didn't do any good. So
That's interesting. I saw the picture. I did see the picture, and I saw those smokestacks by that abandoned power plant. And I do want to go fly there, but now I'm finding that because I have the 2S, and Herman might notice also. But now that I have the 2S, I'm tempted to fly it with the camera drone and fly it with the FPV Byrd. And that was my main objective for trying to learn how to fly FPV. And now it's like getting back on a bike. Once you take the Byrd up once or twice and see how she feels, how she moves. Herman got to fly the Phantom this week. And I love to hear the motors. I missed the sound. I missed the sounds of the Phantom.
Yeah.
It made me go home and look at my bag and apologize for not having a remote for it, because now I miss my
There's some
Phantom.
new things going on with the Phantom 4.
Yes, that's what I was leading to, Herman. I wanted you to talk about that.
Well, she actually zooms now.
With the latest firmware?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The
There's an
Phantom
update-
4 Pro.
Update on the latest firmware.
The control on the back on your, what is it? Your right side?
I see it. It's on the screen.
Oh, okay. So basically it's what, like a pull down on the screen?
Yeah, you just
Mm-hmm.
And what do you said you got what, a 3-power zoom?
I didn't play around with it, but I noticed it when I was doing the update. And because the app wouldn't open, it kept
Hey,
closing.
Stevie.
It kept closing on me. So I went to Assistant 2, and it told me there was I had to refresh the firmware. I refreshed the firmware because the app kept saying that there was an update when I opened it, and I couldn't get connection to the drone. So I went and did all of that, and when it came on, the little slide on the screen that when I hit it, and I noticed it was looking at me in the head. I had it here in the house. It looked at me. It just zoomed in on me. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
That's what it does. Okay. And then I noticed the map was a little bit more detailed.
Now, Herman, is that just a P4P or is that a V2?
It might be, well, that's the V2.
Yeah.
I I haven't checked the update on the P4 Pro in a minute, the regular one. It might be on that too.
Oh,
So
you were
that's
asking Tom, is it on the V2 or is it on the original?
Or is it, yeah, it might be.
That's interesting. That would be interesting to know if it's just on the V2 version or, well, Herman has both. So I guess once he hooks
I'll
it
check
up,
it.
shouldn't he be able to tell?
I'll check it. I can't do it right now, but
Yeah.
says in that release, they also upgraded the maximum transmission distance to 10 kilometers.
Oh, get out of here.
Oh,
That's
Um,
interesting. To
yeah.
10 kilometers, isn't that 5 miles?
it's a little more than that, I think.
Oh,
That's
wow.
that's not
Let's
good
see.
for phantom owners.
Uh,
No, they've been known to fly them to different boroughs in other states. Stuff like-
yes.
He said
that is
different
true.
boroughs in other states. Yeah, Leo, check this out. I know nothing of what you talk about.
Okay,
I don't know anyone who does it. And if I did, I don't know nothing.
they don't remember ever doing it.
I don't know nothing about it. I don't know nothing.
So
Not
Herman,
nothing.
how's
Not
that
nothing.
that-
Nothing.
Air 2S?
Oh, it's fine. It's nice little it zips around. Yeah, you know, it's doing
I
pretty good. I'm
I
still not crazy about the app, but she
And
flies
if,
well.
Guys are
She
going to
flies
have to
very well.
settle in on that app, man. Okay.
you know what, I'm getting used to it. I just don't know how to do certain things. Like I
No, you
figured
don't
out
know how you can't.
I figured out how to do a moving. I figured out how to do a moving hyperlapse.
Oh, that's different.
Before I did one stationary. Now I did a moving hyperlapse. I found out I was moving too slow, but I get the idea. You set up the hyperlapse, and to put it in a direction, you have to set it up in miles per hour. On this, I set it up for 2.5 miles per hour, not realizing that's below walking speed. And I did the hyperlapse. It did move. Hey, what's up, Eddie Nunez? It did move,
Eddie,
and the
what's up,
hyperlapse did come out, but I'm realizing I have to space it out with time, and the hyperlapse is a little, if you get into the logistics of a hyperlapse, there's a lot
Mhm.
behind it. I'm learning, Tom.
I mean, there's a lot going on there. So, the AI modes that the application brings, and that's where it is. It works pretty well. I mean, you just got to get used to the controls and just experiment with those controls also.
Now,
You know.
here's something. The hyperlapse also has a free mode, right? Which means you can turn or do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Are you to do that cruising at a decent speed, or has anyone tried that? Have you tried that? I'd like to know if anyone in the chat has done it with any of their Mavic series birds with a hyperlapse. Have you used free mode and moved around and done what you wanted to do with it while it was taking? Because I do realize it has to move at a certain speed for the pictures to sync up. If you're
Well, the
flying,
problem is, like anything else, if you're too abrupt with any of your movements, it's going to screw up your hyperlapse. So
Right.
free mode is, it would be somewhat difficult to master.
okay, that's good to know.
That's not really the road I would take with it. I would
Oh,
go
thanks,
waypoints.
Elsmeckhead. Thank you, man.
I would go waypoints, and I would actually lay out my waypoints in reverse order to maximize the amount of time I have available to shoot my hyperlapse,
Right.
because you don't want it to go out pretty far to
What's up,
just be
Stevie?
battery strain coming back, right?
And you know what I noticed also? You get warnings while the hyperlapse is going, which would make you real paranoid if you weren't an accomplished drone pilot. It says if battery turn gets low during hyperlapse, it will go into auto land. And I was like, you know what? If I couldn't read that fine print, which it's almost too small to read, but I had it on my tablet at the time when I saw the mess. No, on my phone, actually. But what I didn't like is the warnings are very small.
Well, that's also why I'd like to be able to view them in a pair
Big
of
Matt.
DJI
Goggles?
FPV goggles.
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
that I could
Hey, Matt, what's
focus
good, man?
on, what I'm seeing on the screen instead of all the other distractions.
Well,
Okay. Well, I'm learning. I like it. I
Course lock,
like it.
Eddie just said course lock course lock is another good one. So
That's
so think
true.
about, and again, be
that's always
smart
been a
about
good
these
feature.
things, right? A hyperlapse takes a long time to shoot. It yields a very short segment, right?
Yes. Yes, it does.
So to maximize that, if you're going to use something like course lock or waypoints, what you should do is start, if you're going to do a course lock,
Hmm.
start away from you, coming back towards you, okay, on a course lock.
Right.
And this way, you're not, again, having that battery anxiety,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Yes.
She's beeping away. And if you stop now, you're only going to yield like a 7-second hyperlapse. And, you were shooting for 10 or 15. So,
Hey, what's up, Stevie? What part of the world are you in this Sunday, man? It's like every Sunday. I
no,
like
Stevie, we shot with Stevie yesterday. We hung yesterday morning.
no,
Sunrise
but
shoot.
usually family since Sundays are family days for Stevie, and he's like,
Oh, no,
we're
no, no. Stevie's
we're
up early enough where Stevie can share it with his community family here. And
okay.
then, okay, when he gets home, the rest of the family is up and raring to go. So Stevie gets very little downtime. That's what I have to say about Stevie. So keep eating your
He's
meat,
like the
Stevie.
Energizer Bunny. I know he goes hiking. He does it all. Hey, little llama, Laura. I'm sorry I didn't see you to come into the chat,
Said he comes
but
home to eat
welcome
and sleep.
to Sunday nights with those guys. It yeah, Stevie. When do you sleep? Because you get up at crack to go fly.
No, he comes home to eat and sleep.
Yeah, right. And then go back out. Can you imagine? But anyway, how was everybody's week? I mean, a new week is starting over now. I hope you got a chance to fly. I flew twice this week. One day was totally wasted, but I at least got the experience to fly. Then I flew with Herman at we went back to Calvert, and that was where I'm slowly going through each of the features, Tom, of these smart modes or whatever you want to call them. I want to
Well,
be
You got a
you
lot
have
of
comfortable with
open
them.
space.
Yeah.
Huh?
Got a lot of open space there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We had some female pilots at Flushing on Friday. Oh, see, now that's what's up. See,
Yeah,
that would
Eddie
be
sent me some. Yeah, that's good. Diversified, man. We need the influences, okay?
yes.
Sharing
And I
ideas,
also
sharing
NYC Five
experiences.
Borough Drone Meetup had their night flight last night. And I'm looking, I was looking on a page and I
Anybody
saw,
who went out there? Stevie, did you happen to go out? I know you had mentioned it. I wasn't sure whether
yeah,
you were
did you
going
go,
out to it or
Stevie?
not.
Because there were a few people taking a sleep. I'm out of here. El Smeghead, thank you for the £5, man. We appreciate it very ever so much. And feel better, man. It doesn't get any worse. The first shot's usually a good one. It's the second one you may feel a little whatever,
Hey, Eddie,
like
we
you've had
should
a
put a
drink or so. Hey, Ray
Eddie, we should
Kelly.
put a poster up at Flushing RC so everybody knows what the DJI rep looks like.
Stevie says he sleeps 5 hours. That's what I do, 4.5, 5 hours.
Yeah.
And you go. Ray Kelly, how are you? Captain
Hey,
Ray
Kelly.
Kelly. I see
What's up,
Captain
Ray?
Ray Kelly was out at Coney Island.
Mhm.
He just
He
released a
snuck
video.
in under the steeplechase, under the
Uh,
parachute jump, right?
yes, 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 yes. I hope you had a good time there. Um, you went on a weekend and you went early, which was good. But I honestly still think the best time to go until Memorial Day, because Memorial Day, then they're open every day of the week. But just before Memorial Day, you can fly to New York beaches. Well, as it gets
And
closer, it gets
park,
harder to
stuff
do.
like that.
But you can fly to New York beaches and you
And
can
park.
catch. Oh, thank you. Can you put a cover over that? Thank you.
The
I just got
beaches
a
and the
plate.
parks, Lawrence.
Just got a plate of food from upstairs, and I'm like, arr, arr. You know, the rice and beans, and yeah, which means I don't have to cook tonight.
Mm-hmm. We keep 911 on speed dial here.
But anyway, I'm hoping you get out here to this peninsula too, Ray Kelly. I see you're an early bird like Stevie. Stevie likes to capture light connection. He likes to get those early morning sunrise flights in. What's up, Michael McReynolds? How are you? He said he had an awesome time at the parachute ride. See, that's what's
Okay.
up. That's what's up. I'm glad you did. Um, and you saw the stadium was right there. The Brooklyn Cyclones
Right next to it.
is right next to the parade, right?
Yeah,
Actually,
he was in the parking lot. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I hope you got a lot of good footage from there. What's up,
Couple of
Mikey?
Nathan's hot
Flies on
dogs while you're down
drones.
there.
How are you, Mike? What happened, Tom?
I said Ray could have grabbed a couple of Nathan's dogs while he was down there, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Depending on what time you left, because they open up in the morning for breakfast.
Oh yeah, gotta hit
Hey,
Nathan.
JC Flyings. I hope everyone's doing well. That's all that I care about. The weather's getting nicer across the United States, and I watch the Chicago weather because I know whatever's happening in Chicago, pretty much we're going to get it mirrored in 2 to 3 days. So the weather looks good, and then we're going to get a little bit of rain towards maybe the middle of the week. But just to let you know, classic Mr. Ron from here in New York, he was mentioning going out and flying. And Herman, you have to confirm this for me. A lot of times I'm in bed by 9 o'clock. He had sent me a message at 10, and I was already asleep. I didn't see it, and I was going crazy. And I felt bad about it because I wanted to fly with Ron. He was like, "Yo, you going out flying tomorrow?" And I went out and flew that day. So
he sent you a message.
yeah, he
At
sent
10
me a
o'clock.
text at 10 o'clock, and I was already out for the count. And I didn't see it until actually later on,
Why
later
would you
on in
sleep
that
by
day.
like 8, 9 o'clock? You got to go to elementary school.
Listen, I need my me time in the morning. While everybody sleep, I get to watch the news 2 or 3 times. I have to watch the news so I know whether to look out the window or open my front door and find rubble or radiation or something weird like that. I want to fly Coney Island this week. Those guys sunrise on Tuesday or Wednesday.
What difference?
Huh? You hear that, Herman?
What happened?
Stevie wants to do Coney Island sunrise.
You're beautiful weather all week until Saturday.
Okay.
You're in the 70s and 80s all week.
He wants to do Coney Island. Now, see, that would be interesting.
Wants to do that sunrise, Stevie sunrise.
Yes, I haven't done. Hey, Crabtree FPV, welcome to the channel. I have not done Coney Island FPV because when I did it last, which was over a year ago,
Well, they're running out of time.
I was having FPV issues.
Okay.
I was having antenna issues, signal issues.
How is it working for you now?
Everything is tight now. I can go up in there and woohoo. And
Yeah, Stevie Lawrence will be there.
You're running out of time, Lawrence.
What happened?
Beach shut down.
Yeah, I know.
Coming
I
up.
know, dude.
2 weeks out.
I know. I need to go further down the peninsula. I need to go a little further down my peninsula because this people in this Far Rockaway group, friends of old Far Rockaway, I show pictures and stuff. They're like, "Oh, you don't come down to our neighborhood anymore." And I'm like, because when I take pictures and video down there, you guys have a lot of shit to say.
That's the clothing optional section, right? I would imagine, right? Are we talking about that? No.
Oh no, they don't have that.
No? Oh, okay. Okay. Just checking, Lawrence. Just checking.
Oh no, they got rid of that. They got rid of the
Yeah.
nude beach down there. They
Yeah.
got rid of it. They actually made it private, but where they made it private were behind some people's homes.
You
And
know,
they
I
didn't
found out
appreciate-
about that by accident one day.
Oh, the nude
Yeah.
beach at Reese
Yeah.
Beach.
And you left immediately, right?
No, I stayed the whole time.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. Well, anyway, let's get into the first story tonight. I wanted to do this story because we actually did a story similar, which had to do with Chernobyl, the city of Chernobyl and Piprat. Pripyat, Pripyat, Pripyat. These two cities, of course, since Chernobyl had their meltdown and stuff, I didn't know that those particular cities had population close to 60,000. Then when they had the nuclear reaction problem, 95% of the people that lived in those two cities, and I say 95% of them left, 5% stayed, and out of that 5%, a very small number survived. And Herman and I were talking about this before the stream, and it had a lot to do with the fact that would you want to drink the water or eat out of the land that's been,
That's kind of crazy.
turned radioactive? But this story is about how a gentleman took his Mavic Air 2, and people are starting to fly their drones into Chernobyl from a safe spot, which is kind of funny because they say the radiation levels are safe, and then some people say the radiation levels are not. But we did a story, Herman, if you remember, of a drone. I can't remember the name of the drone, but how they were going into the reactors of Chernobyl with the drone that was in a cage.
Yeah, because some of the
You're talking about the
documents,
Helios?
information.
Yes, the
Yeah.
Helios.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they had
Yeah.
lost information on the reactors, and they needed to go in
Hey,
where
what's
no
up,
man
Courtney?
can go to be able to see what was in there.
Visuals, what's good? How are you?
You
Yes.
know, I would recommend inviting somebody on the show once he comes back. Jerome Strauss is
Okay.
over in the Ukraine right now, I believe, and
Yeah.
he plans on visiting. What is it? Pripyat.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's going there on a private individual tour, and he's going to be able to fly his drone.
Well,
He's just hoping that the weather will be
really hot.
conducive. Yeah.
That would be hot to do. We need
So
to
maybe
start.
we could do that story with a firsthand experiences from Jerome. Jerome is, for those of you that don't know and might not happen across any of Jerome's work, Jerome is like the top-down king when it comes to drone photography. His top-down shots are phenomenal. Creatively, artistically, from a skill standpoint, really phenomenal work. And he's a local member.
I'm very.
Stevie's flown with Jerome quite often.
Okay. I
So
am familiar
definitely
with
maybe
his work.
Stevie can broker that
Yeah,
discussion.
yes, Stevie, if you're listening, let's make it happen. So we would love that. But here's something that I had no idea. Even though they consider parts of Chernobyl safe and some parts not safe, no one will know unless you go in there with a freaking Geiger counter. But they're saying in 2018, now Chernobyl happened in 1986. Okay, we're talking not 96, not 2006, and 86. And in 2018, they had a tourism of a count of 60,000 tourists going to visit, and people are hiking through. Now, because of drones, people are going in with their drones from a safe distance. And I had to have this video set up here, if I can just cue it up. This video is 3 hours and 35 minutes long, but it shows a lot when it comes to what they're doing there. Now, I wanted to also point out this place is the city of Pripyat. I'm sorry if I'm massacring the name of the city, but this is of their city, and there are not supposed to be people here. But I watched this video very closely, and I stopped it at this part because right here where my mouse is circling, they're giving a freaking tour.
Yeah, there are tours. Look, exposure is based on time, distance.
Mhm.
Okay.
Now, if you look
And
right here,
history.
Tom,
So
hold on a
you know,
second, Tom. If you
yeah.
look right here, you start seeing the colors through, and a dog will walk out to the middle of this courtyard here. But there's a group of people here as this guy's flying his Mavic Air 2. Now, this city is supposed to be abandoned, but
So
like
I'd
Tom
like to
said,
fly I'd like to fly at night here and see if
Yeah.
any of those dogs like glow. Okay.
Now
That would
I
be a
stop
tell.
it right here. There's people all
Yeah,
coming
there's
out of the
people walking.
trees,
Right.
out of the trees at the bottom. Right, it's an entire group.
Are you gonna fly from in the courtyard, Tom? At night?
Uh,
Go on in.
I think a lead encased van. Okay, with a moonroof.
But
Yeah.
this guy is actually flying quite slow. But the fact that all of this territory was contaminated, or perhaps still is in certain parts, I thought it was a great video. I wanted to put the share link because, like I said, people are going into Chernobyl with their drones, and you're getting great shots like this. Notice there's not a bird in the sky. Sign number one. You shouldn't stay there long. There are people walking on the ground, they're giving tours and stuff like that, but I thought this was the most this was the best part of the video. And it is very long because even the
Ooh, look at those wires right there.
are you familiar with the Dunger Towers? What are they called? The giant radio antenna? I'm saying it wrong. I'm trying to find footage here of it. Duger? I forget. Huh?
Just think about, I mean,
Here it is.
the
This right
popular.
here. The
Oh
giant
yeah, that
radio
array.
antenna.
You're talking about the antenna array.
This.
Yes. That lots of FPV pilots pay money to come here and fly because Rotor Riot did it. Since Rotor Riot has done it, they have they give tours coming here. If you are an FPV pilot and you're in this part of Russia and you're willing to come back home glowing a little, you can fly your
Come on, a
FPV
few more
bird.
super chats we can send Lawrence.
You want to know what? I might
That
go
would
in
be a
there
good
with,
spot to fly.
I might go in there with an Xavier blow up lead line suit in Coast Guard orange.
Yeah, but
They
lead
make that in orange, yeah.
Yeah.
wouldn't be good.
What, you know what happened?
Lead wouldn't be good.
Yeah, you're right about that. But I wanted to put the link to this in the chat. It's 3 hours and 35 minutes long. If you don't know anything about Chernobyl as a whole story, hey, Michael Blades,
Well,
how are you?
I know you shouldn't
HBO
mess with
also has a whole series on it.
Yes,
Came out
there
in
is.
2019.
Michael Blades said he
Really
just
good footage.
turned on his Phantom V2 and there's nothing came up with an update. I have to do anything? With the update, there is actually, as Herman mentioned it earlier, as he did an update on his Phantom, there's an update. They've added the zoom feature to the Phantom 4. We don't know if it's a complete Phantom 4 series, but we do know it's the V2.
I haven't used it in a while, so
Right. And Tom also read that your transmission system is now 5 kilometers, which is slightly over
10 kilometers.
Oh, 10 kilometers.
kilometers.
I'm sorry, which is slightly over 5 miles. So there are some updates about that. Bowman 48 just won the NASCAR. Okay. All right.
Okay.
That's what's up. Congratulations to him. Jerome is doing his tour, this Thursday. He's doing wow. See?
What?
Yeah,
Chernobyl?
he's going on that tour on Thursday. That's why I thought Stevie, when he comes back, that
Yeah.
would be great to get him on.
Yes, Stevie,
Talk
that would be
about it,
great
man.
if you could kind of mediate that and get him to come on. That would be real nice.
So for the us and imperial measurement, backward folk, 10 kilometers is 6.2 miles.
Okay, thank you. That's
Now we
right.
can check that out, Lawrence.
Huh?
Now we can check that out.
What, 6.2 miles? Well, the peninsula that I live on is 8 miles, and I've been wanting to do flights from one beginning of the peninsula to the other. So with a couple of spotters in between, I could actually pull that off.
Just call 1-800-RENT-A-VO and we can service your needs, okay? We got you covered.
Yes, I heard that, but I've got the V2. Should I just hook the Byrd up to the computer? Yes. Update it. Definitely.
How often do you fly it? Because like I said, I haven't flown mine in a while.
Yes,
I
that's
turned
why
it
he
on,
did
it
the
said
update.
there was an update. So when I went to Assistant 2, I just refreshed, but you can actually download it right straight from DJI from when you
Yeah,
open
you
up
can
the
do
app.
it. You can do it over the air. But assistant is trouble free. But download the latest version of Assistant off of the DJI website.
Ray Kelly. Hey, JSK, what's up? Ray Kelly. I just got it. It is Ray Kelly was at Coney Island. And I have to turn this a little bit, but I have to turn it a
Okay.
little, but he just sent me a little clip of his Coney Island flight. Camera's trying to
That's
focus. Sorry.
sunrise. Cool.
Yeah, that's definitely a sunrise there. It
Great
looks like
place.
he had a good time. And check out his video. I know you got a lot of footage, and I hope you caught the Wonder Wheel as well.
Stevie said when Jerome gets back, they're going to fly at night because Stevie will use Jerome's glowing in the dark to guide him.
Okay, here we
So-
go. Check this out. It seems apparent, Herman, we're going to have a meetup Friday. It's Ray
Who?
Kelly. Well, Herman, we've decided to fly Fridays if we could.
Who?
And
Hold on. Who said? You
Ray
said
Kelly. Ray Kelly.
Ray Kelly said I'm having a meetup.
No, I said we are. I guess we're going to have a meetup then. We're going to have a little meetup. Hey, what's up, Rob C?
Oh,
How are
Ray
you?
Kelly's meeting up with us on Friday, is what you said.
Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
He's meeting up with us on Friday. Anyone else
I thought he was
who
telling
wants
me I
to
was
know
having a meetup.
when and
Herman,
where?
it's good to be on the same stream, man. Don't worry. Don't worry. He's
Who-
conducting business. Herman, Lawrence is conducting business on the side there.
Ray,
Okay.
Ray Kelly. I'll get back to you.
I know
gotta
he's
do
a
my-
police officer and everything, or ex-police officer and everything. But I know.
Yeah, BK Drone
Yeah, no
Boys,
problem.
Courtney.
Friday, we're at.
You guys, Friday, it looks like we're gonna have a mini meetup here in New York. If you want to find out when and what time, I'm gonna talk with Herman real quick. Ray Kelly says let him know he's there. And Stevie, what's up, man? We can get you out here. If I can get you away early enough and get us back Friday with those guys, special guest Ray Kelly. See, that's what's up. That'll be good. And Ray Kelly's good at vlogging too, so he's comfortable. He's comfortable with vlogging, so we don't have to be like, yo, can I put a camera in your face? You know.
Uh-huh.
So it looks like I'm gonna need a new. I need a new vlogging camera. I'm gonna need a camera for vlogging
Okay.
because the GoPro is I can't go through the rest of the year with a GoPro vlogging anymore.
Don't worry about it.
I need to use
We'll fix that.
one of your roadie mics, Herman.
In
You
due
have
time.
one and I have one, and I need a new source to record on. And I'm not willing to use my phone, even though it records in 4K.
Hey, you know how they say it, right?
What?
You use what you got so you can get what you need.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
You know
Hit
what I'm
me up. I got an original Osmo Pocket.
You want to know
Same.
how far I go back?
You know, you can fake it till you make it, Lawrence.
You want to know how far I go back? This is how far back I go. Okay.
I think I got one or two of those in the drawer someplace.
Yeah, and I'm sure I could find a cell phone to put in here, but it's I don't know. I need some kind of new vlogging.
You know what's the funniest thing? That is like one of the best,
What's up,
one of the
Aviano?
best inventions that DJI ever had. The Osmo Mobile.
Courtney says it at him. Does
Because
everyone have audio?
The Osmo Mobile gets better and better and better every year. No other DJI device has that much improvement like the Osmo Mobile.
No, audio's still working, Courtney. It must be on your side, Courtney.
Okay, because with the Osmo Mobile, it's as good as whatever cell phone you put in it.
Absolutely.
So as the cell phones get better, that Osmo
Yeah.
Mobile you bought 3 years ago got
Yeah.
better.
Yeah,
Well,
I
you
can-
got to hope the one you bought 3 years ago can balance the monster of a cell phone you own now.
Well,
Okay, because it rivals the
even the
size of a damn tablet.
yeah, but
yeah.
even just yeah, but they all have a smaller version.
Yeah,
Plus
but
version.
yeah, they're still functional.
Okay. Ray Kelly says they use a GeckoPod.
Who?
Gecko Pod, the
GeckoPod.
Gecko Pod. Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
familiar
Otherwise,
with.
Sean's going to get angry. You're branding again. Okay.
Oh,
Oh.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I sent this
Oh.
video. I'm gonna send it one time. Yeah, I thought it would be interesting if you wanted to see some interesting footage
Which video?
from 4K at 30, or I assume that's what he shot at, from Chernobyl. I thought it was pretty good. Now, the
Oh,
next
okay.
story, I don't
Did
know
you
if you had
have
a
that
chance
footage?
to read this, Tom, but I thought you would find this interesting. The proposed aviation
Navigation.
I
Okay,
can't,
so
I can't
so
read today.
there's proposals out there, folks, to turn around and charge or allow property owners to
Yes,
charge for
property
the
owner,
use of their airspace below 500
and
feet.
dictate the altitude.
So there's this thing, avigation. So avigation is aviation and navigation squished together, right? And there are avigation laws on the books, right? We have an avigation law here in the city of New York that dates back to the late 1940s, that basically prevents us from taking off or landing anywhere in the 5 boroughs or the confines of the city of New York, the
Mhm.
310 square miles that makes up the city. And it can be enforced, and it has been enforced on some occasions. So, being that we go flying places where it is Class G airspace, or we do have authorization to fly below a certain ceiling, we can still get hooked up with these navigation laws. But what's being proposed is an navigation easement law. So if you know anything about an easement, like I have an easement with my next door neighbor because we share a driveway.
Right.
We both
Okay.
have equal rights to use the driveway.
Okay.
Neither one of us can prevent the other from using the driveway. Okay. The counties and states and municipalities have easement laws that allow them to run roads through certain locations, or to clean the culvert along your property line, which might be on your property, but to make sure the storm drains
Right.
clean
Right.
properly, right?
Which run
So-
through everybody's property.
So now what this proposed abrogator law is to turn around and allow property owners to charge for you to go through the easement that is above their property up to a 500-foot level. Now there's a couple problems with this, and they're problems, outright problems. Charging to use that airspace, okay, would require individual municipalities to pass ordinances. Imagine as a commercial operator
Mhm.
Yeah.
trying to operate across this patchwork of different laws. And this is why in the United States, and in fact, in several states in the United States, have passed laws that local municipalities cannot create any laws governing airspace without it going through the state, and potentially on some books going through the feds.
Right.
And the feds have said outright, airspace is federal. Okay.
Right.
If you even look in the article and talking about what you're saying about a patchwork of 50 states, you're talking about how much of a disaster that this would be of all 50 states, a patchwork
50
of
states.
It would.
and different
50
laws
states
and different,
to the 200th power. Okay,
right. And then
because
you're
you
talking
have all
about
these local jurisdictions.
exactly, and then you're talking about what would it cost? The cost of the
So it could be $20 for you to fly through that airspace,
Well,
right?
can I, Tom,
How is that going to be enforced? How is that
Tom,
going to be
bef-
administered?
before
fairly?
you go any further with this story and we go into more detail of this, I want to be able to read just one small section, and this is why everybody across the United States feel that they own the airspace above their property. It says the right of property owners.
First, where are you attributing this? Who's the author
I'm-
of?
I'm
of this.
I'm actually getting it from the article where they say, hold on, hold on. Okay, I'm. My wife just walks in and says, "I got some pills," like she's selling drugs. Anyway, there's a story further down in the story. It goes the right of property owners to secure
Navigation.
easement agreements. I can't get it from airports dates back to 1946, like you said. But that year in 1946, the Supreme Court ruled U.S. versus Cosby, a farmer living near an airport owned. They ruled
Yeah,
that
certain
the
airspace. Yeah,
airspace
now,
from 83 feet to 365 feet above his
but
property.
Lawrence, let's make a distinction here. You have a right of way to an airport. You have planes flying, and now this is a small airport, so maybe
Right. Yeah.
maybe does a dozen to 2 dozen flights a day, right?
Right.
Coming low over, and maybe this guy's got livestock, and so they've come to agreements, and now as part of this lawsuit, that's once a lawsuit happens and is held up in courts, it becomes case law,
Mhm.
and then other states, other
Right,
lawyers
they-
can leverage that, right? But
Yeah.
but here's that's a lot different than us flying a 900 gram drone over a piece of property. It's getting scary because you look, Texas has a current bill going on the books, House Bill 3403,
Right.
which would give the state Department of Transportation power over navigation easements above state-owned land and make it illegal to fly a drone, okay, without an navigation easement.
You see
Okay.
what they're putting in the chat?
No.
Robert C. Aviano. There's FAA has been cleared thus far. No one can regulate any navigatable airspace except for the FAA. This is true, but until
we
they
wanna-
change, those
keep
rules.
it that way.
Right.
And I'll tell you why. Wait. From a pilot's seat, okay, first. Okay. And then from a consumer seat second.
Good point, Sean.
But that's exactly right, Sean.
Do not confuse, okay, and convolute laws governing airspace. I'll say it because I've said it before. The FAA has been around as long as I've been alive,
Mm-hmm.
and they've kept our airspace safe.
Yes,
Okay.
it's very true.
Safe. You can have a patchwork of different laws based on local municipalities' wants and desires. Because how do I navigate from here to there? Okay.
Yeah.
You're turning around and going, okay, look, what might happen is there might be a course for large commercial carriers leveraging UAS to transport, okay, or UAV to transport product, okay? Now, I can't see there being individual homeowners or
Hey,
property
UFO.
owners getting a piece of that pie, but I definitely see the states, okay, taxing these carriers a local excise tax. Just like, I know I'm old.
Yeah,
Thank
see,
you, Courtney.
that would
Okay,
bring in
but
some
you
kind
ain't
of
no
rev-
spring chicken either. We know
but
your
that would
deal.
bring in some
Okay.
kind of revenue for them.
Yeah, but
I understand
to think that if I'm flying the countryside, I might own 6 different property owners, a buck or two. And what am I going to have to fly with a credit card now? First off,
Yeah.
my phone has to be freaking attached to
This
the
is
drone
where
for
I
me to
knew-
fly any place,
This
right?
is where I knew
And
you
the
would
next
go
is
in,
I'm going to
Tom.
have a valid credit card on file.
Yep.
Every time I
And
take
you're
off
gonna
my
have to have a
drone,
card reader connected to your
meter.
device to swipe
it's going to be like
as
a
you
cab.
as you move over one house to the next house to the next house. as they pass
Could you
you by.
imagine? Well, see,
And-
I know I do know that it's far fetched, but the fact that they're even trying to bring this back into effect and people are trying to use it, like in Japan. Now it's another country, different rules,
Thanks,
So
Rick.
square
different. They have
footage is
in
expensive
Japan,
out there.
they charge for
Look, Adrian.
airspace going up, starting from a certain
The
height.
space is expensive out there.
Yes, but and there's a guy who started buying up all the airspace, and people said that he couldn't do it, and no one proved that he couldn't, and now he's a
That's for the courts to
multi-billionaire.
determine. But look, it gets very, very dicey. When you start talking about having each individual property owner getting a taste.
Yeah,
How you gonna
I
say
don't think they
cash
get.
only,
I don't
Sean?
think they get a taste. I think somebody winds up getting that
taste?
whole pot of gold. And the
Really?
problem is, it's just
How you collect
how do
taxes
you
Hey,
in the name of
Adrian.
the property owner and not give him the piece?
look? Do what Nassau and Suffolk does.
Corporate
and
America
correct me
does
if
it every day,
I'm wrong,
Herman.
Rick Kelly. But
Herman,
you can
corporate
go buy
America
a permit to go
does
fly
it
in
every
the parks
day.
there.
Give me a second. I'll be right back. Right back.
Well, that's what's
So-
that's what's happening here in New York City with your car registration. I don't know about any other city, but here in New York City, your car registration is worth it's not worth anything. You can't drive on the street with your car. There's no place to park it because they've built in the gutters, they built little restaurant booths and stuff like that. So it's like, hey, wait, there's no place to park, there's no place to drive. What's the point? What's the point of paying for car registration? Gave up your roads to the bicycles.
Well, see now, you don't pay a lot for car registration here. You pay a fee, but you go to some states, you're paying property tax on your car every year. Okay, it's a hell of a lot more expensive. But Herman, your gripe is, even with a car in the city, you can't drive anywhere.
Well, they've created congestion.
Well, remember, once you go through the Queens Midtown Tunnel and pay, what is that, like $13 now or something?
Mhm.
You're going to pay another 20 something bucks because the second you pop out of that rabbit hole, you are now going to be in a Manhattan
Hey, Paul.
congestion zone.
You see what Paul Murray put?
And I think
Well,
you're going to pay another 20, 25
They've
bucks on
created
top
the
of it, man.
congestion.
All leasemen and use of airspace is regulated by local buildings and code restriction. You cannot build a 10-story building in a residential area. That requires a
Those are
single-family.
zoning laws, right? Yeah. So
and
again,
they've been loosening
airspace
up on a lot
rights.
of that too.
Airspace rights are usually determined by zoning laws because it's called peaceful enjoyment and maintaining the status quo of the area. But if you're in an urban area,
Mhm.
okay, so we have something called Class C buildings above 18 stories, and I'll let you take wild guesses at how many of those you think you have in the city of New York.
What?
So
Buildings over 18 stories?
yeah, quite a few of them, right?
Oh yeah. Well, you know what, Tom? We've gotten buildings in this city in places that we've never had buildings before.
That's
We've got-
true. In
we got
residential
buildings
areas.
that are taller than all of the buildings in these areas that they never had before. And they're putting buildings on top of buildings in places where they never had buildings before in the city. So all of that
Well, they put
zoning
empty
laws is
floors
all
in
whatever
just so they
wanna
can
put.
build
Whatever they
bigger
want it to be,
buildings.
they'll make it.
But that's what happens when you can afford to change the laws. Because that's
So-
basically what it's about.
Yeah,
So realize
they'll
that
fix that whatever they want.
there's over 6,000 high-rise buildings in
Mhm.
Manhattan.
Right. We got two gigantic ones out here recently. We never had anything like that ever.
Well, so folk, we have in the Long Island City area, which a lot of us local flyers here are familiar with because we've done some flying down there. We have locations, buildings that are named Riverview, and in front of them is now a building built that has a name called Better View. Okay, because it's now in the way of Riverview's view.
They
So
got a better
be careful
view.
what you pay for. And this is not a unique place because I believe it probably happens in other cities.
I'm
But
trying to
you
pull up
pay
Google.
The
two
company I
studio
worked for
apartments.
worked on that one.
And Herman,
Yeah.
okay, Avalon on Flatbush Extension and Myrtle Avenue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bring it here, Diane.
If you have a view of Manhattan,
hmm
your studio apartment is $4,700 a month.
Okay.
If you have a view of the 4 green projects,
Mhm.
that's only $3,400.
Right.
Okay. So, and that's what happens in the city. But you have these people that pay big bucks for
Mhm.
these apartments. You know,
Now, if you
they
have,
bought them
if you,
and had a
Well,
great view, but now no more.
I wanted to
if
point that
you
I
have an
wanted to point
apartment
out
in
what
that
you,
building, Tom, not
Yeah.
to cut you off, Lawrence. If you have an apartment in that building and you have a view of Manhattan, more
Yeah.
than likely, I was the one that pulled all of the feeders for those apartments.
That's what I thought, bro.
Yeah, that's why they
Yeah,
all
you
light
worked
up
that
and
building.
everybody's stuff is
Yeah.
working.
because it was
And,
done
but you
right.
know, unfortunately, they're not going to maintain that great of a view. Not as many
Oh,
apartments because they just put some more stuff in front of it, Herman. Between that and the
well,
river.
I wanted to point out what you say, Tom,
Yeah,
is so
there's a big
true.
one going up in between the two bridges.
I
Yeah.
wanted to show you guys something because if once you hear this little story about how they sell your view and you go
Good
in
luck, Courtney.
buying this view. This is out here on a peninsula where I live, and I switched to 3D mode because when you zoom in, you see this building right here, right? Well, they are selling apartments in this building on this side, right where my mouse is circling, right there. Those were the most expensive apartments because they were told that this area here would be turned into a park and they would have a view of the beach. Now, if you go back in present day, this is of course Google Maps, and Google Maps is always off
There's a building
by a
going
year
up
or
there.
two. There's a building here now. And all of the people that were so what you say about them selling you a view, and in that particular building, what makes it funny, a studio apartment, just a studio apartment is going for $3,000 a month. But because it's one block from the beach and some apartments have a view and some of them don't, that they can sell you whatever the hell they
You know
want.
what, Lawrence? You know where the best beachfront property is?
Where,
Here in Brooklyn.
you know, because
Brighton
you showed
Beach. No, hold on.
me the knowledge of Calvert Vaux.
I'm going to show you Brighton Beach.
Brighton Beach area, Manhattan
Brighton
Beach.
Beach and Manhattan Beach. I'm going to tell you why. Because all of those apartments over there is rent stabilized. They never thought that that would come back to bite them in the ass. You want to make the beach front all kind of nice and cozy and special place to be? Well, guess what you got to include? The people living in all of those rent stabilized buildings.
Good move.
So
BK Droner
if you
Boys.
can get in
Courtney
there,
Darlington says he's going to take his 107. I salute
Good luck,
you on
Courtney.
that, sir.
so if you can get in there, you can get in there under $1,000 a month. You good?
Wow. Could you imagine? Could you
Oh,
imagine?
well, you got to have a friend.
What? All right, now you guys, I did not send you this video, and the second half of the stream is Jay Byrd Films. Well, those of you who don't know who Jay Byrd is, you do and you don't. Jay Byrd Films did that video, that fantastic video, flying through the bowling alley and up and around and back, and it was really brilliantly done, planned.
Really?
Yeah, seriously.
Stop it.
It was a very brilliantly planned video, and it took a lot of time to plan it. And they did another video that some of you may have seen, some of you may not. And even if you've seen the video, I want to go into not so much how beautiful it is, because obviously the video is beautiful. I'm going to try and talk and do everything at the same time. But this video, this is Jay Bird's films of them flying in a mall, featuring a fairly new mall. Keep in mind, every person you see is a part of this, is part of the video. So to make it look like it's occupied and stuff. But I was talking with Herman, and I've come to the conclusion, being an FPV pilot, in order to perform this flight, now he even adds the conversation of these guys. Of course, he lip syncs them, he syncs them in to the video, but he goes to the guy right here. He's going, wait up for me, something like that. But this particular mall has an indoor amusement park. And the only way that I found out physically, and if there's someone else that's an FPV pilot can in fact confirm this for me, this is the way I would do it.
You could do
In
this
order to
Jersey.
fly this mold with all this metal and everything, you would have to have several ground stations set up throughout the mall. And I mean, it's logical. It sounds logical. It's a fantastic video. Everything is choreographed. They down to these guys running across these guys skating through the park and harassing people and stuff. This guy is a brilliant filmmaker.
You know, you could do this at the Meadowlands, right?
What happened?
Right at the Meadowlands, you could do this.
At the Meadowlands?
Mm-hmm.
They now
Oh,
have
yes,
amusement
yes,
park.
yes. Don't they have a super mall there that they just recently reopened, or they're about to recently reopen?
Well, I was
But
there when they opened it the last time and it wasn't finished. Now it's completed.
Yes. Oh, that's right. I remember you did go and you said like the restaurants were open, but a lot of the stores were closed. Now it's
Well,
completed.
no, a lot of everything was closed. Just the amusement park portion, part of it was open.
Oh,
Now
wow.
all of this Lego stuff and everything is all now included.
Okay. Okay. Well, this I thought was a very brilliantly done video. Now, Tom, maybe you could add some input coming from, you've been flying camera drones longer than me, but what you would agree, in order to fly an area like this, wouldn't a ground station be optimum?
Well, I mean, you could use there could be a mesh network, Wi-Fi repeaters in there.
You
That's
know
what you're
what?
looking
I didn't
for.
think about that. I did not think about that. That
Well,
one.
if they look, these are if you guys are interested in these kinds of shoots, there's some great stuff. I mean, just check out hashtag one shot drone, things like that. There's a great video where, in fact, I'll throw up the link. You know, where they start flying out the window and, you know, through kitchens and everything else, through apartments. But yeah, these things are a blast to
TV
watch
says, let's
because
do it at the Palisades Mall.
they're so choreographed.
Right.
You know.
But my point is, I know it's brilliantly done. It's brilliantly choreographed. And I was just thinking to myself, if I had to take on a project like that, what I would need. But because you mentioned the Wi-Fi network all over the place, that would be a great way to tap in and keep video going. You understand? Because he would have to have seamless video, first of all, to begin with, to fly in and around all that metal, because of something in FPV called multipathing. I don't know if you guys are familiar with multipathing, but it has to do with the fact that when you
Where your
fly,
signal
perfect
goes.
example, when you fly the World's Fair Globe, because it's metal, your signal's coming from your radio to the drone, and it's bouncing past the drone and bouncing off the metal back to your drone, which can confuse it. You know, that's multipathing.
That's how
Multiple
flying in
signals.
Manhattan is.
Right, you're getting multiple signals coming to the same drone.
But multipathing can be addressed by sending. I mean, what you're dealing with is digital. Okay, so that makes a huge difference because you can inject checksum into that signal where it's validating that that's the accurate signal. So, you know, there's a lot you can do to get a more discrete signal, you know, but I would love to find out about the behind the scenes, the logistics that went into that.
That's why I wanted to show the video and talk about it, because to be honest,
Well, Lawrence, play the
work you have to
play
put
the
in.
first minute or so of the link I just put up, just real quick.
Hold on, I will have to try and copy it and see. Send it to me. Let me see. I'm going to try and play it now. If this, let's see. Hold on a second.
Okay.
World's longest drone FPV one shot. That's
Stevie,
it.
what was that? That was the under 1 minute video, right? Open up the apartment door, fly through the studio apartment, open up the studio
Okay, Tom,
window,
I got
and
it.
out.
I got it loaded up. It's
That's
world's
good.
longest drone FPV one shot. I think this is it here, Tom. You can see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, what were you saying about this video? Oh, wait a minute. I stopped sharing it. Duh. What were you saying about this?
This is what you would consider a one shot. That's what these videos are. These are one shots.
Oh,
these
I did
videos.
see this. This is on, is this a college campus or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I did see this, yes. You know, something was done like this, it still takes a lot of work and choreography where you can fly between two people far enough and not scare the hell out of them and then worrying about their hair getting caught.
Well, again,
That
all
dude
these
looked like
people
he
are
was about to get
involved.
hit in the head, but this is the confidence that you need to have in a pilot, you know, and I would be interested to know what bird he's using. It does look like a Cinewhoop style, but it also looks like, I can't tell because can't see the live feed, but I'm assuming this is a digital signal.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't see another type of signal. I see them practicing social distancing and all of that. It takes a lot to choreograph something like this. It really does.
And also the logistics that go into it. Everyone here is involved in this.
Yes,
You know,
every person that you see, everything is choreographed.
Okay, so
They would have to be.
guess who you don't have to involve? Okay, snap quiz. Who don't you have to involve in this shoot? The
The
FAA.
drone pilot,
FAA.
the
The
drone
FAA.
pilot,
FAA.
the what, Herman?
The
FAA.
FAA.
Because it's indoors. Everybody in the video
No
would have to, they would be
jurisdiction.
startled.
Ah,
This thing's zipping
slick,
by them.
slick question, Tom.
Except that scene
They-
that was outside. Okay. That's the only scene that would have to be cleared. The rest of this doesn't because they don't have jurisdiction.
See, like how nobody's
Nobody's paying attention to it because
Right.
they're all part of it.
Right,
The
To
teacher
make it
doesn't
look-
stop lecturing.
right. So if this were,
It's flying
this
between
was a selling
monitors.
point, this could be a major selling point for the college.
No punk in the back of the room knocks the drone out of the sky.
Right.
Okay, so
like he should.
see, still passing notes. There you go.
Mm-hmm. It's nicely done. I do remember watching this from beginning to end, and I would be interested to know how many times he had to do this to make it one successful shot. It's done very well. He went
Well,
through the
like
entire
how
building.
you mentioned repeaters and all these other forms
Yes.
of keeping signal. I'm quite sure that it had to have been
Look at
planned
this in the
out
bag.
to how it's going to be done
Yeah, absolutely.
and to see where you have to where you can actually fly the mission in the areas that you'd like to and still be able to keep your signal, and how
Right.
you have to set up your repeaters and things
Right.
to keep your signal going.
Yeah, that's what I said, Brent Ariels, except the sections that were outside. I mean, those fall under the jurisdiction of the FAA, but
Yes, I agree, UFO.
Yeah,
I
And then
agree.
pretty
still in
cool.
all,
Pretty cool.
whatever he did fly outside, how much was it that he needed? Imagine needing land.
Yeah,
But
it was
that's what
literally
I would like to
seconds.
see.
Seconds outside.
It was literally seconds from the longest flight outside was actually going along the
Yeah,
path
between
and
buildings.
into the building.
Yeah. But that's what I would like to see is the logistics behind it. How'd you map it out? You know,
Yeah.
how many trial runs? How did you do them in segments?
Right.
You know,
Right.
when you found out you had weak spots, what did you do to tune those signals? You know, that kind of stuff.
Yes. Now I wanted to point out, Rob C flew with Herman and I,
Mhm.
and he wants to learn how to edit video, and he put out a short clip of him
Well, we
flying
can
his
do it.
FPV Bird. He put out a clip of him flying his FPV Bird, and I want to know if you're still there listening, Rob C. What did you use to edit that video, or did you let DJI do it? Because if you let DJI, well, first I'll wait for your answer if you're still listening. But first, if you let DJI do it, you get a smack on the hand. Because we're trying to get Rob C to convert to Filmora for the simple reason there are a lot of people that want to know how to edit video footage, And Adobe Premiere is number one. They use it in Hollywood. They use it around the world. It's most recognized. But learning how to edit video footage, you should crawl before you run. That's all I'm saying. And Filmora is one of those software packages. DaVinci, there's a bunch of them, isn't it? What is the one for Apple?
Great.
The one-
So look,
Well,
look,
movie
look. And the
maker?
only thing I'll say in defense of Premiere Pro, if you're a Photoshop user, if you use other tools, Illustrator, whatever Adobe tools, and you're used to that interface, then Premiere Pro is the most powerful tool out
would
there.
agree with
And
you,
if you
Tom,
can
but
afford it, that's the
I-
other thing.
I would agree
You want to
with
pay a
you,
monthly
Tom,
nut
but
on it.
he doesn't know how to. He doesn't do any editing. He doesn't know how. He's just starting to get into it.
Then go up on go to some of these sites or even YouTube and just start soaking in the 101 video editing 101. Just do searches like that up on YouTube and start ingesting that in large quantities. But then there's other sites like LinkedIn and a lot of educational sites out there you can pay a monthly subscription for to learn these tool sets also. But there's plenty of information about DaVinci and Filmora and others out there. There's Pinnacle Pro, Pinnacle Studio.
Well, see, I'm not trying. I'm not trying
There's
to.
even Premiere
not-
Elements, which is a one-time fee. I think you get Photoshop Elements and Premiere Elements for like $100 and something bucks. One time. So there's a lot of different choices out there.
Well, see, I'm not. I don't get it wrong. I don't want to put Rob C on the spot. That's not my reason for saying it. I'm just trying to say in general, if you want to learn how to edit video, and I thought the clip that he showed was good. That's why I wanted to know what he used to do it. Because remember, Herman, he was saying I'm shooting all this footage, but I don't know what I'm going to put out or and I want to encourage people who are like Rob C, who have a shitload of footage to try something and get it out there.
Yeah, Skillshare, right?
It's like that rapper in your neighborhood, Grandmaster B in your neighborhood with the hat backwards.
They don't have a
Grandmaster
problem
B is
with
from Married with Children, by the way.
They
But-
don't have a problem with
but-
shit.
It's like being a rapper and the only one listening to
Making
you.
references to
is you in
70s
your
and
own car.
80s sitcoms, Herman.
What
You
happened?
understand that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What happened, Tom?
Yeah.
I said you're making references to 70s and 80s sitcoms, dude. Yeah, realize that, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I
You
know.
realize there might be a couple of kids in here that are like, who? Okay.
Yes, I do. Go to
Remember the audience.
Skillshare.
Lawrence, you would have to reference one of those.
Yeah, Skillshare is one of
Raggedy
those
Ann
sites
here.
like lynda.com and LinkedIn. And
Teach you to edit. Skillshare. Yes.
yeah, a lot of sites.
Skillshare. I'm not familiar with them, but you know who taught me how to edit video? YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube is a cheap way to go. And,
I mean,
and look,
if
there's other things that you can think about doing also that you could turn around and go to Fiverr. Okay, you could do some editing yourself, and you could take your clips and also send them, put them up on Fiverr, and get a couple of quotes. You can get stuff edited for 10, 15 bucks up on Fiverr, and see what you get back, and then compare, that edit to what you did, and see,
Mhm.
and look at other people's stuff and the things you like in their stuff, and then go asking, how'd you do that?
Well, I would like to seriously put a project out there, a proposal to people who are uncomfortable editing footage. And what I suggest is before you can edit, you have to have footage. And what I mean is go to a spot you're comfortable flying and say, I'm going to tell a story about this spot. And you think in your head, what would you like to see at this spot? If there's a monument there or something that you want to feature in the foreground or background. I mean, every place I
I'll
go
make
fly-
another
Hey, Chris
recommendation.
Hope, what happened?
Chris,
Stuart Carroll, Drone Film Guides.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Go check out Stuart Carroll. He actually even has a master class you could pay for if you
Yes.
wanted to. But
Yes.
go watch Stuart Carroll's stuff because he's going to go over those things like, the 10 shots to get to tell a story,
Mhm.
Right.
how to
Right.
frame that
Right.
story.
Yes, you're right.
And then how to put those pieces together. Do you record from start to finish? Do you record in short spurts? Do so go drone film guide up on YouTube. Stuart Carroll, a great source of information. His masterclass, if you want to take it, I don't think is that expensive, but it'll teach you editing also. But there's a bunch of people up there, but they give away a lot of free stuff, a lot of free education. You can bounce from one to the other up on YouTube and
Right.
not
And,
even
and
pay a
hey,
dime
Mike,
and
hey,
learn.
Mike B, aka the Drone Ranger. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to Sunday Nights with those guys. See, that's my only point in bringing it up because I remember her and Herman will confirm it. When Herman and I met, we met in an NYC 5-borough drone meetup, and it took me 2 hours by train to get to the spot. Okay, which was Grand Ferry. Now, for those of you who don't know New York City traveling, 2 hours can get me from southern New York to the Bronx. Okay, and I went from one borough, Queens, to Brooklyn in 2 hours. But to make a long story short, I remember Herman was saying, "Yo, he was just getting into drones and stuff, and he wanted to know how to edit." Herman, am I really a bad teacher? Wait. The views and opinions heard tonight are not necessarily the views and opinions of everyone on the panel and or in the chat. Now you can answer.
He's all right. It's like, see, like how, okay, let's take, for instance, Hendrix, right? Hendrix were with other bands and stuff like that. And if you remember on his come up, one of his stops was with the Isley Brothers, and he was with other bands a little bit before that, doing different things, but you grow. As you grow, you move on. You know what I mean? So Lawrence is good. He can get you going. Now,
Yeah, but that's my wife continually says I
why
have
she
what they
says
call
you're not a
teacher.
good teacher?
What happened?
Why she said you're not a good teacher?
No, she says I have teacher syndrome.
Oh,
Wait a second. Did
'cause-
I miss Herman? You were making Jimi Hendrix references there?
yeah.
The experience, bro.
It's just like how they say it. Lawrence is that guy. He can train you. He can he can get you there, but you gotta go see somebody else for the championship fight.
Oh. I know I was there for you.
That's
No, I'm kidding.
okay. That's all right. That's okay though. I appreciate the sport. If I could teach a bunch of unruly teenagers computer science and stuff, and when no other teachers could, then I feel good about it. But the point I'm just trying to make is I like to hear drone pilots asking questions about editing and how should I shoot this video if the conditions are like that. If you don't ask, you won't know, and that's all I encourage here on those guys. If there's something that, and if there is a question that me, Herman, or
away.
Tom don't know, I'm sure we could find it out, the answer for you
Point
by
you in
the
the right
next live
direction.
stream, if not the same night. You understand what I'm saying, Tom? So I like to
away.
encourage people. I love to encourage people to do things. And before this summer is out, Rob C, whether you're listening or not, you're going to edit a damn video and you're going to edit it right. And you're going to be badass by the end of the summer. I'm done.
Just different parts of the puzzle. That's all it is. I mean,
Yes.
battery management, okay, camera management. You got to learn how to, I mean, as a photographer, all those photos you take, if you don't do anything with them,
It's just
okay, how many people that have come to me and said, I don't know what to do. My camera's full. And I went, what do you mean your camera's full? They went, it's got so many photos on it. It won't take any more photos.
Right.
And I go, what the hell are they doing on the camera? Okay. Reason you took those photos with to show people. So, You got to get your work out there.
Well,
Let's
we
see
got
what you're doing.
we have
Okay.
one more. It's not even a story. It's more of an announcement. The FAA symposium.
Yay!
You know, the
Yay!
June and
UAS,
September coming up.
the FAA UAS symposium is coming to you this summer through 2 remote episodes. Remote, keep in mind, episode June 9th to June 10th and September 14th to September 15th. Now, I remember Herman
Episode 3 and 4.
preaching, listen to the supposed symposium because this is what they're going to do, A, B, and C. And then when A, B, and C happened, people were like, they didn't tell us. We
Well,
didn't.
Lawrence, can I say something? Everything that you are seeing happen right now in the world of drones, everything that is going to happen in the next week or 2 or month or so, or a year or so, was all mentioned during and after these symposiums. They talked about everything that was going on, and nothing that they haven't talked about or discussed during them hasn't happened.
True.
But if we all sit around and don't pay attention and go and start talking to our friend that wasn't paying attention, then we won't know when it happens again. So
This is
that's why
true.
some of these things like this, the FAA symposium, I know last year it was all, I think, virtual, and they had all kind of nonsense going on with it due to COVID or whatever. But I don't know what's happening, but check out all of the information or videos that they might put out on YouTube or wherever that, come straight from the FAA, because the information that they give in these things is what is law.
Right,
This is what's
right.
going to happen. And I believe what it says, episode 3, they're going to be,
They're going to go over the
dealing with public
requirements.
safety, STEM, recreation, and
Commercial operations.
commercial operations and international. So don't say you didn't hear this and you didn't know this and you didn't, and then you go
This is
ask
my
your friend that
point
was
for
talking to
bringing it
you
up.
and asking the other friend that didn't know nothing. And it's more important that you really seriously just listen to these guys and understand, because it's going to come up again. This is the ball is rolling now.
Yeah.
What's happening with the FAA.
And the reason that I'm showing this is because I remember 3 years ago when they had a symposium and they were talking about doing certain things like Herman mentioned. They were talking about how they were going to put all drones on one network, and guess what that one network is? Lance. Now, Lance or Lank, whatever you want to call it, they said they were going to do it, and this is how we're going to do it. Now, the symposium, like Herman mentioned, is talking about delivery drones and everything in between. Welcome to the dark side, night UAS operations.
They mentioned
Safety operations over people, recreational operations in a remote ID world. For Prop Harmony, which is basically remote ID solutions across the globe. So whether you like it or not, if you
Lawrence,
want
if
to
you
fly a
remember,
drone, what's that, Herman?
cut you off, but if you remember from the last one, they were talking about moving into the world of flights beyond visual line of sight.
Mm-hmm.
And they talked about seeing a void and being able to avoid obstacles. And they mentioned about the cameras needing to improve in the sensors so as that these operations could actually take place. And now you're even seeing this coming into place with even the consumer drone, that the sensors are getting even better and better on these drones.
Right. Well, I just wanted to point that out really quick. It's coming up on 6:30. I don't know who's coming on afterwards. But that's pretty close to the end of the stream. We can wait another minute or whatever if you want to do it exactly. This will give people a time to set up their streams and hit that live button before we get out of here.
Well,
But
okay.
you got anything you want to talk about, Tom? Anything? What's happening with your travels and e-bikes and stuff for a little while before we get out of here?
Honestly, I guess the pollen is kicking up because I'm getting
Yeah,
my
I'm
head
dying.
handed to me.
No, please. I said
Dying.
I said this earlier, Tom.
Yeah.
My wife was complaining, like I go outside every day, so I built up a semi-tolerance to the pollen, but she goes out every few days when she has to drive to work or whatever, or on weekends. And she went out today and she was just so miserable. And I was like, you know what? You're sneezing, you're coughing, and you feel really miserable. Right now, if I had a fork, I'd break out my right eyeball with it. You know, that's how the pollen is. It's
Yeah,
really bad.
it's
The tree
we were flying yesterday morning. Eddie was having a bad way to go yesterday with it, and today I'm getting hit with it. And I've been out several times, and it's not a matter of being out a lot. It's just a matter of getting we need a little bit of rain to wash it away, but then when we get a little bit of rain to wash it away,
Yeah,
then
but
we got a new
everything in New
crop
York
right
has a
behind
green
it, right?
coating on
Yeah.
it.
Yep, I
Everything,
know everything, man.
yeah,
Everything you touch.
everything. But listen,
Everything you touch
Yeah,
outside. Yep,
my car
absolutely.
has a green fuzz on it.
Yep.
we
See?
appreciate you all for supporting us. Ray Kelly, I'm gonna get with you about hooking up with Herman and I on Friday. And if you want to know where we're flying on Friday, Herman and I are going to talk about it within the next day or two, and we're going to post it in the Those Guys Facebook group. So if you're in the New York City metropolitan area, and depending on the time and the place where we pick to fly, if you can make it, we would love for you to come. You're more than welcome. We appreciate you all. We appreciate the support. We appreciate the super chats and you guys to continue to support us. I can't
Mhm.
freaking talk today. And I blame that
It's
on
that
pollen.
time.
Can I blame that on pollen?
It's that time. Gotta sign off.
Yeah, it's that time.
Phone's not working.
But
All right.
yeah, we'll
Listen.
see you back on Wednesday. We'll be back on Wednesday.
Don't forget to check out Herman's show on Wednesday night. Fly Zone Drones, they're on Friday nights at 9:30 p.m. Okay, on his channel.
Mhm.
Ray Kelly, check out his video he just did at Coney Island. And I don't have anything else to say. Be safe, fly safer.
And we'll
That's what I
see
have
you
to say.
guys later.
Take care,
Yes.
everyone.
Don't forget
Sunday nights with those guys is sponsored by
those
Those
guys.
guys.
We
Don't
appreciate you
forget to
all.
check us out on Wednesday.
Yes. Have a great evening, everyone. Thank you so much once again.
Good night.
Good night. Stay safe.